So today we're talking about how to discover, how to find your life purpose by coming into your heart and asking your heart what your life purpose is. And the big problem that I see with most people, like I was reading an article the other day that 85% of people are in a job that they don't like 85% of people. So that's what most people are doing, is that they're feeling stuck in a career that doesn't have meaning, that isn't fulfilling them, that isn't giving them the joy that they're after. And sure, financially, those jobs might be taking care of people financially. But the bigger impact on that is, like, if you're spending 8 hours a day, maybe 9 hours, maybe 10 hours a day, doing something that your soul hasn't come to the planet to do, like what's the point of doing that? And this is something I know very well because I was in the same position probably 10, 11 years ago, as I was working as a full-time engineer, a civil engineer in the corporate world. And I'd been doing that for about 10 years. And so every Monday morning, I'd wake up at 6 o'clock, go through my routine, get on the bus, go into the middle of Sydney, work in a shirt and tie, doing this job that gave me a headache, really. I was experiencing a lot of stress. There was multiple projects I was working on at the same time, leading a team of civil engineers, leading a team of draftspeople, in contact with management, in contact with architects, clients, doing bills, doing all of the design, overseeing projects. And it was this stressful job that stayed with me literally 24/7. If I go home at night, I couldn't turn off my head. I was thinking and thinking and thinking about all of the problems from work, and it was starting to drain my energy. And even though in that corporate environment I was extremely stressed, at the same time I was bored, because I was like, well, this really isn't why I'm on the planet for. This isn't why my soul came to be doing drainage design and looking at highways and freeways and supermarkets and residential estates and all of that sort of stuff. So probably the last 2, maybe 3 years of working as an engineer, underlying all of the stress was this thought form in my head, this isn't why you're here. When are you going to quit? And I'd been thinking about it for years of quitting. And finally, the day came where I was like, for the last couple of weeks, I was like, today's going to be the day, today's going to be the day, today's going to be the day. And what happened is that the managing director of the company called me into his office, and I was working on a $1 billion freeway project on the other side of the country. And we're sending drawings over. There was something like 500-600 drawings that we sent. And one of the drawings had a mistake on it that one of the junior engineers had made. It was my job to oversee it all. And yeah, I made a mistake, There was one number that was out, and the contractor over on the other side of Australia was ringing up our company, talking to the managing director, saying how crap it was that this one number was out of literally 600 drawings. And then managing director was getting all of the crap from these guys over there. And he was a big guy, a big personality, and he called me into his office and he sat me down. Everyone at this company was scared of him and didn't like him. And so I'm sitting there, and then he starts yelling at me, about, you've made this mistake, you're destroying the company, blah, blah, blah. And on the inside, on the outside, I was feeling nervous and anxious to be in his presence. But on the inside, there was something deeper kicked in that was like, David, this isn't why you're here. So as he's going on this big rant, and no one stood up to this guy, he's going through this rant, and I'm tuning into my inner world, and I just put up my hand, which people don't do, and his jaw literally dropped, and he didn't know what to say. I put up my hand and I said to him, yeah, look, this isn't how I like to be treated. And his jaw dropped further, and I could see his face went red, all the blood pressure. And he's like, he was a bit lost for words. And I sort of get, in his world, there was a lot going on, and it just it's his personality. But I stayed with my truth, and I said, yeah, look, like this level of like stress that you're causing, not just me, but the whole people in all of the company, it's just not good. And his jaw dropped further, and he started to try and like yell at me. And I stood up and I said, look, no, you don't treat people like this. It's just not fair to do that. And he started stuttering, and I said, yeah, look, like today, I'm actually going to quit this company. Like I was on contract, so I had to give him like 2 days notice. But today is the day that I'm not going to do this job anymore. And he's like, yeah, but we need you. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't treat people like this. And I said, I don't know where this came from, but I also said, look, and the engineering profession has actually lost themselves an engineer, and his mind sort of went blank. And I said, so thank you for having me here, but I wish you all the best. But in 2 days I'll be out of the company. And that was my final 2 days working in a job that wasn't connected with my life purpose. And it was scary, but suddenly I've gone from like, $120,000 a year to unemployed. I had some money saved up, but I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? And because I wanted to do something meaningful, something that had purpose, And so many clients that come to me are like stuck in this world, and they go through like 20, 30, 40 years of this, and then they come and they retire. And then they come into the work and they're like, wow, I wasted 40 years of my life, So anyway, what happened is that I got inspired to buy a bicycle, and I flew over to Europe with my bike in a box. His name was Harry, the bike's name. I gave it a name called Harry. And I started cycling from Romania to Paris, which was 4,000 kilometers. I gave myself 7 months. And it was symbolic of cycling away from engineering. And that was the first half of the cycle trip. And the second half was cycling towards what my life purpose was. Yeah. And by the halfway mark, I'd come into my heart. I'd thrown out all of the maps. I was just following my heart through Europe, and with the intention to find my gift. And I was looking everywhere on the outside, but then my attention awareness started to come back onto the inside, and I started connecting with my heart again. And I started listening to my heart again. And it was in southern France, in this really big valley between Geneva and Lyon. And I had my tent on the back of my bike, and I was camped, there's this big valley, and I was camped up the top of the valley, so I was looking down over the river. And there was all these beautiful trees. It was very green in Europe. It was the middle of summer. And I woke up in the morning, and I'm tuning into my heart, and I literally asked my heart, like, what's my purpose? And as I sat with my heart, the words that came through were 2 words, and it just said natural therapy. And I had no idea at the time what that was. I thought, maybe I should go back and become a naturopath. But I stayed with the process of allowing my heart to guide my way to discover and find and uncover and reveal my life purpose. And it took many twists and turns, but eventually it was like, when I listened to my heart, all my heart wanted to do was express itself. So then that's when I started running workshops and working with clients and doing online training courses, such as the Head to Heart program, about how to go from the head, which I've been in as an engineer, back into the heart, which happened on this cycle trip, and then express and live your life from your heart rather than your head. And this is the journey that I've taken. It's why I do the work that I do. And now it's helped literally hundreds of people all around the world to make that transition from their head to their heart. And then also, and more importantly, to then live their life from their heart. And ultimately, if you're trying to discover what your life purpose is, you will not find it in your head. Your head has literally millions of ideas, and none of them, or maybe a couple of them, but most of those millions of ideas are not connected to your life purpose and the reason why your soul came to the planet. And the only way that you can discover that, what your soul has come to the planet for, is to be in touch with it through the wisdom of your heart, by listening to what your heart has to say. And that is how you discover what your life purpose is, and that's what actually gives your life meaning. So if that's what you like to do, is to discover and uncover what your life purpose is, why your soul came here to the planet, then somewhere on this page you'll be able to pick a date and a time and schedule a call with me. And there's a short questionnaire, and then we'll get one-on-one on Skype, and we'll see exactly where you are around your life purpose and the connection with your heart, where it is that you really, really, really want to be, and the truth of that, and also some steps on how I can help you to make that journey from where you currently are to where you want to be. So from the head to the heart, and then expressing your heart in the world. And what's awesome about living your life purpose is that everything starts to become aligned again. It's like your inner and outer worlds. There's no separation between who you are on the inside and who you're being on the outside, because you're coming from within. It's your life purpose. It's your soul purpose. It's the reason why your soul has come to the planet. And that alignment, I can't put a value on that. Like, what is that worth? Like 40 years of your life working in a job that you don't like, compared to being in the flow of life. Like, how do you actually put a value on that? And if that's what you'd like to do, is to make that transition and to be living your life purpose, then it's very simple. Just pick a date and a time, fill out a short questionnaire, and you and me will connect one-on-one on Skype, and for 40-45 minutes. And this is a powerful call because we get to the truth, we get to the essence of what's currently happening in your life, right? And then we get to the truth of your potential and where it is that you're on a soul level you're actually meant to be. So there's a gap between the two, yeah? And then we also come up with some steps that you can take to go from where you currently are. Like, you might be working, like 85% of people, like working a job that you're not passionate about, you're not committed to, through to, okay, well, what is it that my heart wants to express in the world? How can I then express it? And what are the steps to get there? Yeah, that's what we do. And if you are like one of those 85% of people that isn't living their life purpose, hasn't discovered what their life purpose is, it impacts so many areas of your life. Because like when you go to work, like for me, I was working about 60 hours a week, you know. So there's 60 hours of that week that I wasn't being true to myself. And it was more because then there was like the hour and a half commute to work, the hour and a half commute back to work. When I got home in the evening, I'd be thinking about work. Even at the weekends, I'd still be thinking about work. And even before I got to work, I was thinking about, okay, well, how's it going to play out today? So, and I found that just drained my energy because I wasn't in alignment with my life purpose. Whereas now that I've discovered what my life purpose is, I can't wait to wake up. I can't, like, to be doing the heart connection work, like with my fiance, like we talk about it all the time, and her life purpose as well. Like an excitement and a joy and the synchronicities start happening, and you start to enjoy life again. So if you'd like to make that transition, coming from a heart perspective, going from your head, all of the ideas, through to the one path of the heart. The heart only has one path. The mind has millions, but the path of the heart, there's only one path of the heart. And that's where most people make the mistake. They think, oh yeah, I'm going to try this. And then they think, oh yeah, I'm going to try this. And then they think, I'm going to try this. But when you tune into your heart and you have the techniques to listen to your heart, to come into your heart, listen to your heart, speak from your heart, follow your heart, live from your heart, when you have those techniques around your life purpose, it becomes smooth sailing. So if that's what you like to do, somewhere on this page you can book a date, you can pick a time as well, fill out a short questionnaire, and literally in 2 to 3 minutes from now, your life can be going on a completely different track, right? One that's aligned, one that's in harmony with your essence, in harmony with your core. So if that's what you'd like to do, I encourage you to do that today. And in the next couple of days, we can get on this call one-on-one. It's a powerful call. So thank you again for watching this video. Go and book your call now, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.